Hi guys and welcome to today's video, and as you can probably tell by the title, I'm going to be basically putting a few more highlights into my roots. So basically my plan is to stop fully bleaching my hair. I really like the way that like balayage and blended roots and all things like that look. But my hair, because I've just let the roots grow through, it can sometimes be a little bit harsh. So I occasionally just kind of refresh by putting a couple of highlights in where I feel like it's needed, where it might help to frame my face. I put my hair kind of on this side and I noticed that there's a bit of a dip, so I felt like I should probably add a couple more, even just really subtle highlights in, just to kind of give my hair a bit of a refresh. And so I thought I'd film the process for anyone that is basically deciding to grow their hair out. It's obviously a bit of a trend at the moment to have like styled roots, so I just thought I'd show you what I do, and then hopefully it helps anyone that's looking to do it. Needless to say, if you are under the age of 16 or 18, don't do this without your parents' consent, and do this at your own caution. I am not a hairdresser. This is just what I do to refresh my hair, and it works really well for me because if I have it up, for example, I feel like it kind of blends together. I like balayage when it's a little bit ununiformed, so yeah, I thought that I would just update a bit of my hair and show you guys how I do it. So the products that I'll be using: a polystyrene bowl to mix the dye in. I've got this like old shabby paintbrush just to help like paint in the highlights. I have a 40 volume developer. This is quite a strong developer, but because I am applying it to my roots and in very small sections of my hair, this is okay. You know, 20 would be fine, 30 would be fine. I use a Jerome Russell Be Blonde one. I found that this is what I used to do it before, so I just kept with the same one. So to go with that, I've got the Jerome Russell Be Blonde High Lift Powder Bleach, and I'm going to mix the two together. You want to do it at a 50-50% ratio. And the other thing I have is tin foil, because every time I do a little bit of a highlight, I wrap it up. You'll see that process, but this is just what I found worked for me. It helps to give it a bit of a refresh, but also helps to make it look a little bit messy, which is what I'm looking for. I'm going to keep growing my roots out until I get to a point where I probably will get bored of it, but this helps me kind of go through day by day. I quite like the fact that it's quite ununiformed, and yeah, so I thought I would show you. So let me zoom you guys out. So what I'm going to start with is that I'm going to basically semi-section my hair. When I say that, I'm going to kind of do it so ununiform. There's no real structure to the way I do it, but I normally kind of grab a little bit at a time. So let me start, for example, with the bottom bits. I obviously have my pyjama top on. This is just my Christmas pyjamas, elf ones, lol. And I'm just going to wear these because it doesn't really matter if I get any bleach on them. Please do always wear like a top that you don't mind getting bleach on, because if you get bleach on clothes, it's pretty much RIP to the clothes. So if you have like a bleach top or something, wear that. Otherwise, just wear something that you really don't care too much about. I'm just going to tie my hair up like that, and then here are the bottom section. As you can see here, that is all my root because I've not really done much to it. So I'm going to mix the bleach and developer, and then I'll show you what I do. So I've used literally about 1/5 of the bleach powder in that, and then I'm going to use the developer and then see if I'm going to need a little bit more. So this developer will also work if you have darker hair, because it lifts up to 6 to 9 shades, which is quite a lot, but it kind of works for me. So I'm just going to mix the two of that together, which I'm just doing like this with the old paintbrush. This obviously always smells. I've got a window open. Luckily it's not too windy tonight, so I can have the window open while I do it. Don't do this in a non-ventilated room because it really smells. I forgot to mention as well, you're going to want a pair of gloves, because that's how I'm going to help to section it. And once you've got a bit of bleach on it, you want to be a little bit more careful. So I've got about this amount in the bowl. Obviously it's a plastic bowl thing, so you can't really tell that much, but it's not a lot. You don't really need a lot at all. I'm just going to put a little bit on the paintbrush. So I don't want to overlay it with existing bleach. I am just bringing that down a little bit. And you don't want to go all the way up. You want to do some bits like halfway and some bits a little bit higher. Then once you're happy with kind of how it is, take a little section of like literally just kitchen roll and squeeze it like that. You want to just make sure that your whole head, you just want to make sure that that whole piece of highlighted hair is in that bit of foil, and that's not going to go anywhere. And then I basically just take it section by section where I kind of want to add a little bit more blonde. And with my roots being so much darker, I can see where the bleach had stopped before, so I know kind of where to go with it. So that's kind of how I'm leaving my hair, just to kind of set and stuff. The good thing with this is that I probably kind of do it every 2 months. I'd say is quite a good average, and then that way I can kind of touch up the roots. I didn't have that much bleach in here, but there is still quite a bit left, so you really don't need that much. And like I said, I really do try to focus loads in the bottom bit of the root growth, and then I blend it up towards the actual scalp. You want to do it as if you're kind of like blending eyeshadow, going towards the root, but kind of go thicker to more narrow. The good thing with the fact that I've done this now, this is the second time I've done it, is that eventually it will kind of grow out and I can get the highlights to go a little bit thinner, so it will just go up and slightly blend more. I am also thinking of getting a slightly darker blonde colour just to put in between the roots and my actual kind of like bleach blonde hair, just to soften it out a little bit. I'll probably buy that next time I'm in town because that'll probably work quite nicely. And yeah, I'll just let this set. I normally leave it for about half an hour, not that much more, and then I'll wash it out in the bath and I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is how my hair now looks, and you can probably tell the highlights look obviously a little bit like messy almost, and that's kind of what I really like. I really like that balayage trend where there's not really much uniformity to it all. It all looks a little bit like, I kind of want to say all over the place. Not like that, but like there's no real pattern to it, and it's all kind of like all different. I think that just looks really nice with blonde hair, because I am trying to grow my roots out, and this is the best way for me to do it, and it means I can do it at home. So I hope you guys have found this video useful. It doesn't always go how you want it. I also forgot to say that when I did the bleach this time, I didn't let it set for as long, because then that way I've got slightly more blended highlights, but you'll get used to it the more you do it. So I hope that this has been useful. Give it a thumbs up if it has been, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!